Hello YouTube, Jedimon 2005 here with a review of Kamen Rider Night and Darkwing. That's right, so we have our second Ryuki rider with his contract beast, his giant bat. So what we see here is we see Maxed Rider Night and Darkwing, and then right there on the side, we see the name, we see Kamen Rider Night and Dark Wing. The Ryuki logo on the side is the name, Maxed Rider Night and Darkwing. Oops, that fell. On the back we have, let's see if we can get it all in there, him on the stand he comes with his sword and the bat attached. Advento, Godvento. Showing off something else, I can't tell what it is. Oh, him flying with the bat. Ooh. Him with the cape, his buckle, his sword. Final Vento. And then him again with cape action going. So let's try and get all this out. Just like a Ryuki, this thing's in 2 trays and it's giant. And there's a bunch of shit in here. So this is the back tray with the cape and part of the spiral effect part. And the stand right there, which has the emblem off his deck and says Maxed Rider Night. And it's got the blue. And we're gonna leave that right there. And then we have the other larger, not larger, but more stuff in it. So we see Knight here, his sword, the clip to put on his belt, the bat's right there, the rest of the effect part. This clips the bat to him, some hands, his sword vent, and then another piece for the sword vent as a tail for the bat. So let's try and get some of this out. So, Knight. Let's get the plastic off the bat. Darkwing. Duck. Let's just pull pieces out. We'll start with these. Okay, so let's see, where do we start? Jesus. I guess we'll just start with Knight. We'll just do Knight first, and then we'll work our way from there. So, starting at the top, we see his head. He's got the vent visor, and he does have compound eyes underneath. And you can kind of see them in there. They're blue. Very nice looking. The rest of his faceplate with he's got bat fangs, which is cool. His chest armor, his shoulders, the back. These pieces pop off. That's how you attach the bat to him. His belt. We see his deck, which, like Ryuki's, will slide out. If I can, you can see it coming out. Let's see if we can get it all the way. Almost there, almost there, almost there. So here's the deck. Oop, 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 oop. So here's the deck right there, all detailed out, and then we can just slide it back in like so. Snap it in place. This piece will pop off to put the holster for his sword, and then his legs. And then let's get another look at his back. So really good figure. His head articulation, at least right now, is not hindered. We'll see what happens with the bat and everything else. His arm articulation, that popped off. Let's put that back on. Alright, arm articulation. Again, nothing is hindered at the moment, but there's no cape or anything on him. His legs, everything's good to go right now. So let's put him in the back. Here's his sword. That is his normal standard weapon, and it's what he uses for his cards. We can see the bat design with the wings right here. Look at that. Very nicely done. And then this piece will pull back, and this opens to reveal a card slot. Close open. Card slot right there, just like in the show. And then we can close that up. And he can activate whatever advent card he wants. Next up is his sword vent, all decked out and detailed out. Look at that, very nice. All the gold, and then this long handle, sort of to hold it with, and also for the final vent thing. And then Where'd the piece go? Oh, right here. So it has a shorter piece. I can pull this off. Put this piece on. Just push it in. And then fold it. And then it pops off. And then I put it back on. And now it's a tail for the bat. For Darkwing. So let's... Who again is not a duck. Contrary to popular belief. Let's get to the bat, shall we? Here he is. Darkwing, his head, it will move, and his mouth opens. Let's see if we can get the mouth open. Mouth doesn't want to cooperate right now. There we go. So, let's turn him towards you so you can see. He now has his mouth open. There we go. Inside of bat mouth. The wings, these are all hinged, so they will move every which direction. These pieces are also hinged to open up like so. His legs will move. They're on a ball joint, I believe. And his feet. What kind of feet does he have? Does he have? Looks like he has the die-cast feet. Like, yeah, he's got die-cast feet like Ryuki. So I want to mention that before I forget. So this peg here will move. I can pull this back to make it easier. It will peg into his tail, since that's where the sword event comes from. Just like Ryuki's beast. Just how Ryuki gets his weapons from his contract beast, so does Knight. And then if you look here, we can see the design there, because when it's on him, fold these in, fold it around, and you have guard vent, like so. So let's try and center it. Center it around the bat's head. So you have guard vent, which is nice. Now, in order to connect him to Knight in any fashion, first thing we're going to do is pop off the vents on the back. Right there. Then you're going to want to pop these pieces off, and we'll take a look at what that looks like when I get one off. It's a little difficult to do at first if you don't know where the seam is. There we go. So it's going to look like that when you pull one off. And then this piece right here, we can go ahead and peg on like this, because we want the silver parts to be the ones that go in his back. So peg this on, and now he will peg into the back like this, and now he can fly. We could get the stand out and set him up on it to fly if we want to, and he can be the Batman. So that's cool. Let's pop him off, because we have other cape things we're going to want to do. So we don't want to... so pop this back off. Now, when this is off like this, this entire chest piece will pull out. And so we'll put this bat piece aside, because we have, like I said, we have more. So let's do the spiral effect part first. So this is the rest of the spiral. This is where the bat's going to go. So we'll slide the bat in, like so, to get it started. And we'll pop this on to hold him in place. Alright, now we're going to pull these other pieces out, and one by one peg them in here. So we're just going to... peg them into the holes. Oh wait, it helps if I put them on the right side. Peg it in. Then the next part, we will peg this one in like this, and you can see the spiral effect coming together. And then finally, we will peg it in to the end drill part, like so. And then we would peg this into Knight he would have his sword running through there. You know, and this would be, we'll attach this back, and this, you know, it would be in there like this or whatever, and he would be drilling, you know, death upon you. If we can. So, I'm not going to use it just simply because it's too much effort, but you can get him in there, and you'd have, let's see if we can get the bat sword out, the tail. Oh, come on. There we go. So you'd have this in there, and he'd be holding it, and there'd be a drill effect, and it's all falling apart. So we're not gonna keep that. Ugh. So you have that there, and we can put all those pieces away. The final cape thing is just a standard cape. It's pretty big. Here's the cape. If you stretch it all the way out, you can also just fold it in and do varying degrees. You can do one side or the other. You know, just like anyone else's cape. Really, almost like the Kivas, except larger scale. So we'll slide the bat back in like this, and we'll attach it to his back like this. It's probably how I'll have him with this cape, just because I really like it. Standard cape. Just he has to watch out for airplanes being sucked into them. Ah, I knocked the bat's head off. The bat's head's on a ball joint, so it just pops on and off. Nothing to worry about. There we go. And you just heard it snap back on. So, so here's Knight with his cape, like so. And see, he looks really good with it. And you can stretch this out, and he can be epic. So like, I am Batman. Now let's lift his arm. If we pop this piece off, like so, we can pop this on, and it will actually peg in. There's two pegs there. We can actually peg it in here. Shit. Peg it in there and into the leg. Let's see. Come on, leg. Why isn't it going in? It should just go right in. There we go. Okay, it doesn't peg into the leg. I have no idea why there's a... Oh, that's the joint. Oh, I'm retarded. So it just pegs in. That's not a second peg. That's the joint hole. Like the gap between his leg and the hip. So we have his holster, so we can just slide this in. Like this, or is it like this? I didn't bother to look, but so he's got his sword, and before I forget, because they are small and tiny, packed in with his little instructions is, just like Ryuki had, some advent cards. So, and I believe the sword should be turned around. Let's turn his sword. His whole waist is going to come with me. I don't want the waist, I just want... There we go. Sword in whole. It's not that difficult. There we go. So let's turn that around, put him here, while we get his cards out. Oh, and there goes his wrist vent thing again. There we go. So, packed inside here, if you can see them, are his advent cards. So he's got, you can see the back of the card, and let's see if we can get one with the front. It should have, just like Ryuki had, sword vent, guard vent, add vent, final vent. You can see here's a sword vent card right there. Let's see, they're really tiny. That's why I'm avoiding taking them out of this packaging, because I really don't want to lose them. And I know that that's probably what would happen if I took them out. No, I mean, they will slide into the sword. Was this trick vent? I think this is trick vent. Right there. So he has a bunch of cards. You can put them into his little sword device. You can put them in his hand. Just think it's a hand to hold them or something. Let's go ahead and pop this back off, because it's annoying. His cape fell off. That's fine. We'll put the cape back on last. Put the wrist piece back on, because it's getting on my damn nerves. Did I put the right one on his waist? Does it matter? Aren't they all the same thing? Are they? There we go. Should be the right ones. I don't know. I don't think it matters. They look the same to me. So here's Knight. I want to get him in a pose with his sword. So let's pull this off. And let's get this sword piece back on. Where's his hands? I need hands to hold shit. Give me some hands, baby. Give me some hands. Hands to hold sword. It looks like there's two sets of holding a sword hand. That's a card holding hand. Well, let's see. Let's get to. So we'll change hands. Why does his wrist vent keep coming off? You're pissing me off, wrist vent. See, what he needs to have is a Rick vent card, so that he can Rickroll people. That would be fantastic. Because who does not love a little Rick Astley in their lives? Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. See, that would be awesome. You just have some of that going on. So, which sword do we want in which hand? We'll put this one in this hand, right here. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. I wanna make you understand. Let's see. Oh. There we go. So this sword's in this hand. We'll put. Put the smaller piece in. That should make it fit easier. There we go. We'll put this sword in this hand. He's ready to fuck you up with his double sword on sword action. There's one thing missing, and that is badass cape. So let's get badass cape back in here, because you cannot be, you ain't cool unless you have a badass cape. So there we go. We'll just leave him like that. Looks pretty epic. Knight, I'm gonna tell you right now, is a fantastic figure. I can't even get the words properly. It's really a great figure. If you love Knight, or Ryuki, or if you like Dragon Knight, you can definitely get this because you get the bat and you get the figure. You can do the spiral for the final event. You got all kind of different capes. You got just so many options plus the cool stand. That there really is no reason not to get him, especially because he's not all that expensive considering all the stuff you get with him. I thought at first maybe some kind of a trick. It's going to be some kind of shitty figure because we're giving all this crap for cheap. Nope, it's an amazing figure. I don't know how they were able to give it to us for this price, but they did. So everyone should get one of these because Knight's fantastic, just like Ryuki, and they can be bestest BFF Facebook friends until everyone hits the reset button. But so until next time, you can check out the podcast website Ramboards, WritersRangersandRambles.com, bringing you the latest Toku news in the craziest way possible. And as always, thumbs up, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!